Alright, we've got Mikey in play. Mute myself so I can't hear it. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to watch your games and just call things out as I see them. I haven't really watched them. I have just whipped through and cut out a little bit of nonsense time. I do want to preface this by saying I'm only plat and I don't play Genji. So they probably are a lot better people to tell you what you are and aren't doing very well. But certainly I'll take a little look and see what I think and give you my thoughts. Out of the gate with Hanzo. It's not going to be the easiest team to get a lot of value from Hanzo against. Certainly the Echo would be a bit of a problem. Although if you can get the shots on the Life Weaver in the back line here, nearly, very nearly. Oh, I messed up here. Getting the team on blue. That's gonna be annoying. Alright, okay, yeah, so you swapped over now. It does make sense, I think, in a lot of ways. Echo probably gonna be quite annoying, I'd have thought, for you. But it gives you a chance to dive. Just looking at your team comp, there is some good sort of synergy. You are playing a decent dive comp. Echo already with ult just gives you a bit of an idea. She's clearly doing very well. Or they, I'm not sure. And it was your tank, you said, that was unhappy with your performance. Okay. I mean, this is just Dorado being Dorado, isn't it, right now? There's not much you can do about this. Okay. It's a nice dive, and it's a nice escape. You create a lot of space for your team with that. I mean, regardless of if Echo's doing the damage or not, Soldier needs to come off that high ground, so I think forcing the issue there was a good move. Okay. Doom can deal with that, you're going in as well. I mean, you're lucky not to be dead, but he's also lucky not to be dead, to be honest. Doom does get him in the end. I mean, there's an argument to be made, you should be going for the back line, but that isn't arguably a good blade. Echo's behind you doing work. Yeah, I mean, if your tank is complaining about this play, then there's something wrong. You're doing some good carrying here, really. Okay. Yeah, just good positioning. Oh, so close, so close. Getting that Echo out at that stage would just be monumental, but the pressure you put on means you're going to pick up a nice easy kill later on. So that's really good work. I mean, they are, as well, really thinking about you with the Mei switch. Mei, Echo, Orisa. It is going to be hard for you to get a huge amount of value with Genji, but you're doing it. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Yeah, the whole team needs to be going up now.
My blade is ready to be unleashed.
Watch out, I'm on fire.
Well, you got two. No, back to one. Okay, I was going to say you have two on payload. This is a great spot. I mean, just getting Kiri alone and surviving means that's really good value. Doom goes in with you as well. This is a good dive. It's a really good dive. Yeah, I mean they are trying to counter you with this setup, and it's not working out for them so far. I mean, literally, you've got Moira, May, Cassidy, and I guess Kiri's not a direct counter, but she does well. I mean, that looks beautiful to me. Yeah, you are pure carrying this mode, or this point. Nice. Yeah. 2 minute 35, very good time through there. Another good pick. Your Doom is doing a good job of making space. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument that blades are necessary, but for me personally, I'm happy with that. Happy for you to finish them off and just create that stagger. Why is Doom on the payload? I know 2 on the payload moves it marginally faster, but I think as a team would be getting a lot more value with just the 1. Okay. Trying to cut them off from the Kitsune. You get magged and then back up from the res. Okay, great pick on the Sombra. Nice, very nice. At this stage they're out of ults. You're coming up on rally and you'll blade again. See if I can get a scoreboard up. Do they have scoreboards in replay mode? Just check one more time. Sorry, I'm cutting out your blade there when you do work. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be hard to argue you didn't hard carry that one. It's a good finish. Again, I think that's a good amount of time, really. Alright, jumping back in. Back on Genji on defense. Your team comp's a little bit all over the place, and I wonder if a different character might have suited what the rest of the team's playing here a little bit more. Yeah, that's quite a risky play there. You are in too deep with the Roadhog on their team, with the Moira, with the characters to have, and you're going back. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that is too deep for me, I think. Oh, you're okay. You're out. I mean, you can spawn camp, but if you play like that, eventually you are going to get caught. It's just a matter of time. And they are playing, what is it now? Sim, Moira, Kiri. Hands are not so much of a problem, but yeah, they are. A lot of these picks are focusing you, and I think now you are struggling a bit with value. It's certainly worthwhile considering a switch, or at least the team could switch to match your play, or at least you could be a little bit more patient, I think. Okay, yeah, this point's pretty much lost. You could suicide in and try and delay it, but I mean, you're probably better off setting up for the second. Nice, nice. Isolating the Hanzo there is a very good play. And just goes to show you can still get value, even in awkward setups. I know you said the other DPS as well got a bit of flack, but I'm not going to be able to spectate too. I'm just going to focus on your play now. I think if you switch between views, it can be very easy to judge things in hindsight. Very nice. You saw he was alone and isolated, and you made sure work of him. Ah, okay. I'm not really too sure where the blade went wrong there, actually. I probably have to watch that back again, but it didn't seem like the worst idea of blading. You're a little bit away from the team. I don't know if you'd seen the cooldowns that you needed to see as well, but So you know Kiri's got no teleport, you're trying to isolate that, that's good. And the team mops up, perfect. So they're switching to Farah. Okay, well that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, with a Widow, really, she should be the... yeah, there it goes. That's Sims on a magical journey. They have talks about looking at the flank routes for this map, and they really need to, because it's just so absurdly slow if you go all the way out there. Ironically, she's got some value just by dragging you over there. Okay, there, now she comes down. There she is. Okay, so she's looking for that bit. Yeah, nice. Very nice. I mean, even if the Widow doesn't headshot, which is obviously, you know, great, but you were marking her and you were aware of where she was, so there is a lot of value in that. Okay. Good dive, knowing that the Mercy's there. That's annoying. That's annoying. That's Kiri for you though, isn't it? Maybe back in. Okay.
No one can hide from my sight.
Nice. Pretty sure Echo's not meant to win that. I mean, is meant to win that. Nice. Yeah, see, right now, I forget what I said about switching off. You're getting so much value. You're clearly a very good Genji player. The spicy skins, the spicy golden shurikens. Look at that little charm. Very sexy. Okay. I don't like you going up there into the Winston. Low health. Just to help out the Widowmaker. I mean, ultimately, if there is going to be a Winston, very hard to get value as Widow, but that switch was somewhat inevitable. But the best that could happen really is just Widow be prepared and dip away from the jump, and the whole team take the Widow if he's out of position. Alright, that's just a terrible blade. I'm sorry, there's no mincing your words on that one. You shouldn't be doing that. It's 1v5. Yeah, okay, if you're about to swap characters, which I definitely think you should be considering at this stage. Yeah, that's a classic Genji player. Not to be rude, but yeah, those 1v5 plays, they're not kosher. Not with the Kiri on the other side. It's just not going to work. You really need to conserve your blade and think about it there. I mean, yeah, sure, you can try and delay, but yeah, they're probably better off setting up for third and looking for a good blade here when the Winston dives in to create that space, or potentially when the cooldowns are baited. I do like the Swift here. I think you're going to have to swap over and deal with this, but if your tank is criticizing you, but also playing, you know, still sticking with Orisa into this Winston, I mean, there's certainly a question of what he's doing to stop the Winston from getting away from murder. I think a Junker Queen here would have been a much better pick from your tank, but you know, there's a lot of sort of those question marks that can be raised. It is too easy in this game to find yourself switching a bit late because you thought you could stick through it. Okay, coming out with the Mei here. I think Mei would have been... no, Mei, yeah, okay. Again, I'm a little bit confused by what your team comp is hoping to do. It makes a little bit of sense as a sort of like brawly thing. But yeah, there's not an awful lot of synergy here. Oh, you're trying to get your wall up. It's okay though, you might be able to get out of this. You're going to need a clutch wall here for sure. Tank's done well to get a pick there. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't be walling off your team from making the play there. Okay. Pretty good defense. So what are they playing? Okay. Really, this should be a win. A minute 30, not very good distance. I really don't like you coming out with Pharah here, just to be really candid. You know they play a lot of Echo, there has been a lot of Soldier, and yeah, you don't know what their team comp's going to be ahead of time. But playing this into Soldier, that's going to be a challenge. Your Illari gets a good pick on the Mei though. Yeah, you're gonna have to focus the Soldier. You're gonna have to get him out of the game very quickly. Okay, close. Not bad on the dives. I think you know, a few more bits of cover, a few more landed hits. I don't think it's a question of necessarily like you didn't know what you were doing. I just think the execution wasn't quite there. At this stage, they have switched over to the Echo. You've just seen that in the kill feed. You really do need to be thinking about a switcher. Yes, there's ult charge to be thinking of, but trying to play Pharah into Echo Soldier, it's really hard. Again, you could have him here. The Echo's diving as well. If you both coordinated that, he gets out of the game, you're in a really strong position. Alright, they've got Kitsune. Soldier is gone, so now you should have a bit more space. It's just the rest of your team's just gone, isn't it now, at this stage? There's nothing left. Yeah, I think you'd be hard pressed to argue that you got value out of that attack, and I think like, there was an idea behind it. I don't think it was the best idea, really honestly, but you could have done it just fine with the Pharah. The execution wasn't quite there, but yeah, you just made life a smidge harder for yourself than you probably would have wanted. In the end, the value wasn't there. Okay, that happens. You know, you have the deflect, you think you're going to be okay. He times the hook well, though, in fairness. Your team's, without meaning to, somewhat counter-picked themselves here. Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to be respecting Roadhog a lot more. Back you go. Team switch to Orisa, that's a good pick. Kiri's exposed. Your Sombra should be timing up with that. Nice. Thank God that broke. Okay, good Pepper. Gotta be careful here. Yeah, okay, so this is a situation where I think if you and your Sombra coordinate a smidge more, you're gonna get one of them out. And with Kiri and Trace, obviously they are. If you don't get them out, they're just gonna keep coming back. So you needed that big pick. I like the Brigitte here. Roadhog is sort of taking over the lobby.
This ends now.
Okay. Okay, that is a bad round from you guys. It was a bit confused, just staggering yourselves. No real coordination. I don't think one person can be put on blame. I certainly don't think it's your fault necessarily. There's a few little misplays you've made, but no one's covering themselves in glory here. Yeah, there's an argument, no value at all with that Soldier ult, but again, it's desperate times, desperate measures. You can't really be held accountable for that. Okay, So yeah, okay, this is a good pick, I think, on this map. Okay. I like the idea here, but you have just taken yourself completely out of the fight. Oh, good hook from your tank. I mean, this should be a one fight for you. Tank v no tank. I mean, this is one of those, yeah, it gets the point, but the tank needs to push off that point the moment he has. Yeah, you've got to. See, I'd stay. You need to stay there. You need to stay, and you need to stay until your Wraith form is up, and you want to be pressuring these two supports. Even if you are at risk of potentially going down, you know there's 2 health packs near you. You keep them busy for longer, they're not going to get much uptime. Potentially one of your teammates comes in and finishes it off for you as well, so I think that is a bit of a mistake. Trixie, I like it. Straight into the pigpen you just saw him play. That thing is sneaky. Okay, you are turbo dead now. I could kind of see the play there, and I think if the team... I don't think you're at fault there really that much. Okay, good. There is a Mercy behind you. He is going to take no damage at all. Like that. And that cooldown does need to be respected. Yeah, she's all yours. Now, if you have ultimate, you really need to be aware of what's gonna stop you. So that'll be what, Roadhog on their team. Maybe a headshot from Sojourn. Yeah, okay, so you can't do that. You can't do that with the hook being up and right in front of his face. It's not going to work. I mean, I know his ultimate's not the best, but there's been points where you could have got some good value out of it. Okay, that's good. I don't know why you didn't virus her straight off the bat. That virus needs to come in immediately. If you land that, she's gone. Okay, get her eventually. Yep. When you solo Moira as Sombra, I've played a lot of Sombra this season. If you don't land the virus, you really need to just dip if you haven't got help immediately. She will just out damage you. The orbs mean that her sustain is good. You have to burst her down while she's out. Nice pick. Nice pick. This is fine, except I don't know where your team's gone. Yeah. It feels like that Tracer is just eating your team alive. So it might be worth just looking for her and trying to mark her out the game. But one thing I would say is Sombra really will struggle on this map. As you've just seen, there's so little space for her to get anywhere. And this sort of comp, I don't really know what you're looking to do with the Sombra, who it is that you're targeting. Okay, well, there you go. I'll shut up. Unfortunately, your team's dead. Alright. Okay, so I think there's a little bit of lacking in value on Sombra. I think there's a lot of time running around, not really getting too much done. As for whether you were the reason that you lost, I think on Dorado, you're definitely the reason you had such a strong attack. Maybe a little bit of an earlier swap. Certainly that blade was quite wasteful. And just a more of a consideration for what the team's playing and how you're going to fit into that picture when you were defending, for example, up against their spawn. It's probably going to be a bit too much to ask to get away with any value, especially when your team, not playing dive and haven't really made enough space for you to work in. That is sort of where Genji gets his value. It's being able to attack the open space and draw their eyesight away. But clearly a very good player with Genji. I think if the team can work around you a bit more there, that could be more valuable. Otherwise, a few little ult tracks and certainly ability tracks for when you want to make your move would be a huge improvement.